Namaste, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow yogis. Come on into your humble space where you'll practice your yoga. So today I will be very honest, as I am, very truthful. Getting to the mat sometimes seems to be very challenging for a lot of you. I've heard that a lot of you have the subscription, but you're not doing as much as you'd like to do. We'll just carve out the 20 minutes then. This is a 45-minute practice, and maybe on those days when you're feeling like you've got more time, do this practice. Today I'm going to explore standing postures and really hone in, as I've been doing in a couple of previous episodes, to really root through the 4 points of your feet. I may end up going somewhere else because usually the fluidity that I allow move through me changes and alters things up. So I might feel an urgency to do something else. Right, Tyson? I'm often doing that, aren't I? Okay, so let's get started. The most important piece around the practice is the breath. Did you know that just calming and quelling your whole body through breathing more fully will ground you, will allow that your body reaches this homeostasis, meaning all the systems within your being are quelled, calmed, and grounded through just simply you deciding to breathe. So being aware of the breath while you're in a posture, because remember, yoga is not the posture, it's about how you're feeling, and allow that feeling to move through you. If you're angry, uncomfortable, disappointed, happy, joyful, allow that those feelings move through you without gripping and holding on to them, meaning using your breath to navigate them. In breath, out breath. Let's do this, okay? So as you get comfortable, make sure you do have your yoga stuff around you: blanket, bolster, yoga mat, yoga dog, blocks, strap. Who knows what we're going to use today? So first of all, get in tune with your breath. You can rub your belly, you can hold your rib cage. Love yourself as you are, okay? Love yourself as you are. So when we grab the tummy, a lot of us go, oh, I don't like my belly. Love your belly. Love it whether it's like chiseled down like a 6-pack or whether it feels like a 2-4. Love yourself as is. That is huge. Just loving yourself. Okay? So once you get to know all that breath energy moving through your body, you're alive. Let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra, prayer. Let's yoke everything together and know that the only thing that you are really needing to be in this lifetime is yourself. So with that, let us take a deep breath in and a letting go breath out. Yeah. Feel that energy. Let's begin this practice with one big, solid, beautiful Om, the sound of consciousness and love. Deep breath in. Good. Blinking your eyes open and releasing your hands. Let's get started. So start to root your feet down. Let us begin today in a standing posture. So let's go right up into standing. Once you stand, go to the front of your mat. So just so you know, viewers, this I mirror you. This is the right and this is the left. Okay? So I'm just mirroring you. All right, so when we come to the top of the mat, standing in your Tadasana, this is still my right, this is still my left. So once you stand at the top of your mat, reach out, express yourself as you wish, groove your body, say hello, thank you for being grounded into this lovely space called your yoga sacred space. Then find your mountain pose through the 4 points of your feet, and then let's just celebrate inhaling, reaching the arms up, and then exhaling, hinge at your hips and knees and forward fold. Really important to bend your knees and bend at the pelvis. Inhale to a half back. I love taking my blocks so that my back is smooth. We did this in the last episode. So lengthening your spine, pedaling your feet, feeling your hips, enjoying yourself. Then on your exhalation, let's go deeper in towards the shins, even grabbing the back of your calves. Bend your knees. If you need space for your boobies and your belly, get wider. Sway around, feel your Uttanasana, let all that blood pressure, right in the head, you can feel it, right? Oh, exhaling, inhaling. On your next in-breath, take it back up into your half back, pedal your feet, swing your hips, feel how lovely that is. And then on your next exhalation, let's take the hands to the mat and step your feet back into a plank pose. Once you're in your plank pose, stir around, lift your hips up, and really roll around in your wrists, your shoulders, your knees, your hips pedaling away. So it kind of is like a plank down dog. Really rooting down through the base knuckle index fingers. Then exhale all the way up into your down dog. So a lot of people are having issues in their down dog. So root your hands fiercely, press the floor away, bend your knees and lift your hips up. So you want to find the arches of your feet and you want to really express the tarsals, the toes. So lift your heels. And even though I suggest that in class, I see a lot of people still slamming their heels down. Lift your heels and bend your knees. You want to get height in your thoracic spine. This is a handstand prep. It's not about getting your heels down. So finding that, then on your in-breath, come into your plank, and you may have to augment your feet further back, feel that energy, and then exhale to your down dog. Keep your hands spatially as wide as your mat. Inhale to your plank, exhale to your down dog. And you can see in the bird's eye view, if you're viewing this, that my hands are as wide as my mat, pinky finger, ring finger, pretty much off the mat, so that I can keep a girth in my chest, meaning wide external rotation of the upper arms, like my chest is open. Keep on playing back and forth in the in-breath to plank and the out-breath to down dog. Good, just a couple more rounds in that. Really feeling the length of your neck, it stays neutral. Then when you come up into your down dog, let's pick up the left leg, come up onto the left finger pads, move that left leg around. So really get more acquainted with your ability to be in your body. And then on your next exhalation, some of you, your left foot will land halfway up the mat. Take it and land it there. Up between your hands, lower the right knee. And when I say between the hands, I see a lot of students with the the left foot way back here. Between your hands means between your hands. So that left foot comes right up so that your index finger and thumb really marry the outer heel and the pinky ball mount on the outer edge. So once you get into this low lunge, you'll feel if you need to slide the blocks there. You do you, whatever height you need. Start to move back and forth in your hips, really playing in those beautiful hips. Then from there, start to navigate, blossoming your bum, and then picking up that left knee, tone the belly, and then bend the left knee towards the floor so that you can rise up more equally over your pelvis. Once you get there, reestablish your feet hip distance apart. You can see in the bird's eye view, here is my left foot, here is my right foot. So they're not on a tightrope like this, and you're like doing that whole balancing act. It's left foot out to the left, hip distance apart. Once you find that, then we can play in our crescent lunge. This is crescent lunge where your torso is right above your hips. I see a lot of this. That's a lot of lower back flexion. Yeah, we want to tone the belly and bring ourselves back so your arms can do what they need to do. Keep your chest nice and bright. Then you can express your arms. Feel that, that's crescent lunge. Then let's plug the left foot at right foot at a 45-degree angle. So the toes are slightly on an angle towards the right edge of your mat. From there, you can bend into your left knee and then blossom your bum. Hello, camera. So the bum moves back and then lengthen your tailbone down, but keep on rolling your right hip forward. So I have to assist my right foot more forward so that my hips are now squared to the front of the mat. This is warrior one stance. A lot of mistakes that are happening, I don't want to say mistakes, lessons, is that right hip is turning back and the hip's popping out and the lower back is in that lower diet curve, like bang. So you got to draw your right hip forward. Find the stance where the 4 points of your right foot are down through the outer edge. Then find your warrior one. So the stance may look different than magazines or pictures on your social media, but as long as your right foot is rooted through the outer edge, you are so solid in your roots. So if you pick up the outer edge of your right foot and your right hip is popping out, you're not solid. Trust me, you'll injure your inner thigh muscles. So get that right foot down. Some of you may have a wider, longer stance. As long as that right hip is forward, that's warrior one. Shazam, hips and shoulders facing forward. Yeehaw! Then from there, oh yeah, play with those arms. Notice what you notice. Warrior one, so you're pressing the floor down with the back right foot. Bend deep into the left knee. Beautiful. Now let's take it into a side angle. Take your left hand right beside your left shin, so your forearm and your shin marry each other. Think about the 4 points of that left foot. I got my lefts and rights upside down today. And then start to open up your heart towards the left, but keep on rolling your right hip forward, side angle, block or no block. Extend through the crown of the head, you're still pressing through the back, right foot, and you're opening your heart up. And then you're playing in your side angle. So side angle could be on your forearm, block or no block, but you're really marrying your forearm to your shin. 3 more breaths, tucking that tailbone, but rolling your right hip forward and opening up your heart towards the sky. You can even lift and spread your toes here. Fantastic. Now let's take it into triangle pose. So you lengthen that left leg, so it's the same as side angle, but now you bend or straighten that right leg and make it triangle. So really working your right hip forward and extending through the crown of the head. This is where the twist is happening, right in your middle back. A lot of us aren't there yet, and that's okay yet, but you're still working towards it. Lift and spread your toes, lengthen through the crown of the head, and you could play with this right shoulder. I see a lot of people bending your right arm back, but your torso isn't moving. I'd rather you keep your right arm moving into the hip area, rolling the right hip forward and playing with twisting in your middle back here. Beautiful. That's side angle, triangle. Now let's roll that right hip forward, bend into the left knee, come back up into your warrior one. Reassess that back foot so you feel secure in your warrior one. Shazam. Then unplug that right foot. So now you're in crescent lunge, and then slowly exhale that right knee down to touchdown, and then come back up onto your finger pads or blocks and play once again back and forth in your hips. So I hope you get this. This is the standing postures. There is the movement of the pelvis. That is number one. Well, number two, the first is breath. Number two is moving your pelvis accordingly to open and blossom your bum. So now off your blocks, fingertips to the mat, pick up the right knee, step back, downward facing dog. In your downward dog, pedal, just be you, but make sure your upper arms are in external rotation, your elbow creases are facing your index finger and thumb, and breathe. Let it go. You've got this. Fantastic. Let's play in plank and down dog. So reassess your feet. So when you come into your plank, you're not dipping your hips down. I see a lot of that. That's keep your hips up. Exhale to down dog. Go at your own pace. My breath may not match yours, so therefore you do you. Do about 3 planks and down dogs, utilizing your breath. It is all breath movement. If you need to take a break, go into child's pose. Remember, this is recovery. On your next inhalation, when you move into your downward facing dog, reassess your feet, pick up the right leg, move and groove through the right leg. So really feel the energy of pressing the floor away with both hands and moving and grooving through the right leg. Come up onto your right finger pad so you create some more space as you now navigate the right knee towards your chest. Let it land between your hands or halfway up, of course, take it there. Lower the left knee. So your blocks can be your friends when you come into your low lunge. I highly suggest that. Knit the belly button in, draw it in, and then play back and forth in your hips so you're in a low lunge. Take that time to breathe. Feel your pelvis. Oh yeah, my pelvis is feeling okay. So now from here, you're gonna rise up, and it's that crescent lunges, getting yourself up. You can either rise up and take your torso over, or you could stay on your blocks and pick up that left knee and then rise up as you push up off of your blocks. You decide which one you're using to get up today. The more challenging one is rising up with from this position. This one is like, whoa. So you do you. Now you're in your crescent lunge. Feel it. Party in it. Know that you're doing great by just being here right now. Feel your crescent. Remember, it's the torso over your hips. You're bending into that left knee. The right leg doesn't have to be straight, nor does the heel have to touch the floor if you're compromising your hips. So play in it. Good. And then when you're ready, plug the left foot at a 45-degree angle. So it's kind of like facing more towards the front of the mat, but also spatial difference is up to you. As long as that left hip is moving forward. So reassess your back foot so that your hips square forward, bending back into your right knee, and that's my optimal warrior one stance. So both hips are facing forward, forward. That back outer edge of the left foot is pressing into the floor. My toning of the belly is occurring, and then you could play in your arms in any variation that you wish. You do you, facing forward. Drishti is so important that you're not looking up towards the ceiling. Look at your nose. So wherever my nose goes, that's where my eyes go. Very important. So playing in your warrior one, noticing where your stance is, opening your heart, you're lengthening your tailbone, you feel strong in it. Good. Because now we're going to open up into warrior two. So plant your back left foot like a rudder, a little more spatially outwardly towards the back of your mat, but not turning back, more towards the edge of your mat. Bend deep into your right knee, so warrior two, so we went from warrior one to two just for a moment to find your side angle. So all of these variations are very similar. They're from the same family. So place your right hand on the floor. You can reassess that back left foot so that you feel comfortable, bending and extending in your right leg to get into that side angle. So again, turn your left toes forward, and you could be on your form if that side angle is more optimal there. Turn the left hip forward, even in your side angle. So as much as we're turning our torso to face this way instead of this way, this hip variance happens. Even though we're facing this way, you're still rolling your left hip forward. It's just not as acute as warrior one. So your bum is blossoming. So you're sticking your bum back and you're blossoming your sitting bones open. Open up into your side angle, feel that energy. I love side angle. Lengthen your tailbone, hit the belly button, and you turn your torso. So again, I see a lot of people just rolling their left arm back. It's not the left arm that needs to go back. It's the sternum that needs to lift and twist in your thoracic spine, meaning your middle back. Lift and spread your toes, and then play with your triangle, straight right leg, and side angle. So they're very similar to each other. Again, we did this in the last episode. So play back and forth in that. Hallelujah. I always want to sing hallelujah. Play, play, play. You do you. Good. Just like that. So as much as when we came up, it was like a warrior two stance, and let's do that. Turn your toes slightly more back towards the mat. So when you're bending into your warrior two, and I know we didn't do this on the other side, it's the opening of your chest to this side of the mat, which happens to be the left. You're opening up your heart. You're keeping your inner thighs moving in, back, and apart, so your bum blossoms. And you're playing with the inner edge of, like, think about this inner thigh energy here. A lot of people, when you turn to the edge of the mat, the knee rolls in. So you got to really gauge that knee over. And you want to lean back into this space here. Like, get back here. So everything is solid right through. So this is where it happens. Side angle, triangle, warrior two. I'm just playing. I know we didn't do warrior two on the other side. But now when you want to move into warrior one, unplug that back left foot, reassess it, plug that left foot at a 45-degree angle. So you'll see that this back foot plane really changes the pelvis. Got it? Then you're back into your warrior one stance. Then you come into your crescent lunge where you unplug that back heel. Good. Now this time we're just going to step that left foot to join the right foot, Tadasana. Feel that air, shake it out. Breathe that breath. I hope you got this lesson. I seem a little like today, but we'll slow it down. Okay, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at those hips and knees. Let your head go completely. Inhale to your half breath. Slow down your breath. Exhale, go deeper. And if you're still breathing and I'm still talking, and that's great, but allow yourself, every time you in-breath, you're coming up, you're opening up the front body. Every time you fold the front body into the legs, you exhale. Got it? So now on your next in-breath, we're going to lift the heart and the head and step our feet back into plank. Good. Then exhale into your down dog. You're getting it. Don't worry. Don't get so all heady in it. Good. Now let's play with that again. Let's come up onto the right foot. Take the left leg up. Play, play, play. Bend and extend, come up onto your left finger pads, move the left foot forward, right between your hands, use your blocks if need be. You lower that right knee, play back and forth in the hips, slow it down, we're in no hurry. Now, two things, you can either play in lifting up into your crescent lunge through the blocks and lifting the right leg, or you can keep the right knee down, rise up through the torso first, then pick yourself up. You decide what you wish to do. So no matter where you were coming from, you come into your crescent lunge, bending that back right knee so that your torso's right over the hips and that left knee's right over the left ankle. Got it? Crescent lunge. Good. Let's take our crescent lunge into warrior one. So plant that back right foot at a 45-degree angle. Keep on rolling that right hip forward. Crescent lunge to warrior one. Difference is the foot. Feel it. 3 more breaths here. Oh, good. Side angle. Take your left hand down beside the outer edge of your left foot. Blossom your bum, roll the right hip forward, tuck the tail, and open up your chest into your side angle. That left knee is pressing up against your forearm. You're opening up. Think crown of the head, right down the side body. So the head, shoulder, and hip all line up as you tuck the left hip under. Roll the right hip forward, your bum still blossoms, and you turn in your thoracic spine. Take it to triangle pose. Same thing. Everything here is active, opening up your heart, no pushing or shoving. Think about your head being directly over your big toe to your best ability. Feel the energy. You're not broken. You don't need to, fix yourself. You just need to be aware. You could play in a side angle, which is bent knee, and triangle. We will take this side to warrior two, so really anchor through the outer edge of your right foot, sweep the left arm forward, rise up, the left hand doesn't have to go up and do all that stuff, take your hands to your hips, reassess the back right foot so that it's more towards the right edge of your mat so that you can blossom your bum, lengthen the tailbone, left knee is directly over the left ankle. You don't want to lean forward, so you got to reassess this pelvis of yours, see that? So keeping that left knee tracking over your second, third toe, right hip is still rolling forward. This is where the work is, right here. Warrior two isn't this position, it's this. So you may have to mindfully alter your feet so that you can get into this warrior two with your bum still blossoming and find that. Defining yourself is knowing yourself. Know thyself, not comparing yourself to neighbors, but noticing where you need to move your body. Good. Now let's take it back into warrior one. So that means your back foot has to reassess. See? Warrior one. Crescent lunge, unplug that back foot. Feel that. Then exhale, touch down off your block, step back, downward facing dog. So I hope you're getting this. And if not, you'll get it in time. It's called discipline. I often come up onto my finger pads when I practice. That's why I have such powerful, strong hands. I do massage daily, so therefore they're even stronger, but there's no injury or insult because I practice yoga with my fingers. So as you cup your fingers, that will strengthen your wrists. Anybody with carpal tunnel, big time practice. Send me an email if you want more information. Bend and extend at your right leg. Start to move your right leg forward, reassess, low lunge. Use the blocks or no blocks. Feel your low lunge, whether you're picking it up to come up or you're keeping the knee down to rise up using even more core strength. Crescent lunge. Party on in it. Just the mechanics of doing this today is the physiotherapy. If you wanted to close your eyes and do a whole sequence of this, yes, we can do this at the very end. Or once you've learned this, turn me off and away you go, practice. Let's move it into warrior one. So notice how I changed the stance of my foot, but I can also alter my legs. Start to move your legs in a way that you can still manage to roll the left hip forward. And as you do that, knit the belly button in, because this is really working on a physio level, your inner thighs and your leg muscles. So once you find that position, lengthen your tailbone down. This side is really challenging for me. So how you move out that left foot so that you can find your square hip, that's yours. Knit that belly button in, side body long, through the crown of the head, drishte. tip of the nose. Keep a focal spot. Beautiful. Now let's find side angle. Right hand, left hip still rolls forward, right butt cheek tucks under. So your right butt cheek tucks under and your left hip rolls forward so your bum still blossoms and your right forearm is framing your right shin. Adjust your back foot accordingly. So this is about your feet. You want to be able to root into your feet. Doesn't matter what your arms are doing right now. What matters is, are you getting the roots of both feet? Side angle, triangle. So that's why the block is a great friend to have. If you're not using a block, but your back is rounding like this as I eat my earring, then you need to choose to give yourself some space and open your heart up. So think of the heart lifting towards the sky. Triangle, side angle. You got it. Good. Let's move it into warrior two. So don't worry about the arms right now. Reassess that back left foot so that your torso can move right up over top of your hips, then bend into that right knee. So do you see how I changed the back rudder foot? It's like if you're in a canoe or a boat, who's managing the steering is the back wheel, right? So play in your warrior two. This is where everything comes forward here to the side edge of your mat. Yet, this right knee tends to internally rotate, or the left knee on the other side. Think about opening up but still blossoming your bum. This is where everybody gets hung up in their warrior two position. So dance your feet around until you feel like that's the right footing for you. And then, shazam, you're right there. Play, you can exalt it, you can dance it, but it's that opening of your heart. It's that opening of that right knee. Good, feel that? Then, when you're ready to sweep it into your warrior two or one, the hip changes, so that means you have to reassess that back foot. There you have it, warrior one. Breathe, feel it. Neck and shoulders are broadening. Wherever you may feel it, then unplug the back foot. So now you're in crescent lunge. You can see my stance is short today for many reasons. I'm nourishing myself. Then exhale and touch down off the blocks, downward facing dog. Slowly come into a child's pose or a virasana and take deep diaphragmatic belly breaths, okay? In other words, come back. If you got caught up in the beginner, like effort takes away sometimes from the focus of the mindful breathing, so come back to mindfully breathing. Yeah. And then what we'll do is we're going to move all of that once again through from a standing posture. So just take your time. Remember, yoga is not the postures, it's how you're feeling. And of course, first, are you breathing? Yeah. And then listening to your physical body. Good. Let's everyone come into a tabletop just for a moment. Reassess hands and knees and toes. Hover the knees. Feel the security of your arms. Lift your hips, downward dog. Come up onto your finger pads, walk your feet towards your hands into Ardha Uttanasana. Find your blocks if you need them. Figure out what you need to make this full length of your spine, knees bent, 4 points of your feet are down, fingertips are as wide as your shoulders, and then start to rock back and forth, standing on the toe pads, and then standing on the heels, but still bending your knees and blossoming your bum so your spine stays long. My blocks can actually be right here. They're a little too far forward. So playing back and forth so your heart stays lifted. Notice my spine isn't moving. I'm playing with the ankles. Yeah, good. And then from there, root the 4 points of your feet, sink your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, supine, palms up, holding soup bowls, reach up, exhale, Anjali Mudra. Breathe, release your arms to the side. So let's move through that, okay? And we'll take about 5 breaths per asana, feeling what you're feeling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, let it all go. Inhale, half back. Exhale, go deeper into your forward fold, hands on the mat. Inhale, step back into plank. And if your pace of breath is different from mine, that's fine. Exhale to down dog. Move your body into the postures with the breath. Now let's come up onto the finger pads if that doesn't bother you too much in your down dog, and we'll play in our down dog for about 5 breaths. So again, now postures will be
not held, but danced in an arrangement for about 5 breaths. Now I'm going to lower my right hand, pick up the left leg, move that left leg in ways that feels lovely, and then sending that left foot forward. Your transition is yours so that you're in a high lunge first, then a low lunge. Then you get to rise up and pick yourself up, or using your blocks to find that halfway high lunge, keep that right hip rolling forward, then rise up. You decide, but take your torso right over your hips, crescent lunge, 5 breaths. Feel where you want to be in your crescent lunge. Just really giving yourself permission to dance in your crescent lunge. Good. Now plugging your back right foot at a 45-degree angle or so to adjust your hips so the hips are still facing forward. Warrior one pose. I'm just going to hug myself in my warrior one today. For 5. Doesn't have to be static. For 4. And Mary, go at your own pace and don't worry about counting and what my breath is doing. As long as you're in breath and out breath, you got it. Just like that, as quick or as slow as you want. Fantastic. Now let's take it to a side angle. So now your left hand touches down floor or block. The forearm fuses to the left foot. The right foot reassesses so that you can roll that right foot forward, but open up middle back. Think about that. So you're twisting in this area, anchor the tailbone down and find your side angle. So side angle, you're not really plugging your fingertips so much into the floor that you're bending them and leaning into them, so that you're just there to open up and accommodate this wonderful leg exercise, because it is. Now find your triangle pose. Good, about 5 breaths here. So in your triangle pose, there is a shape that needs to happen, and that is the lengthening of both legs. So lengthening your legs is a different one than bending, okay? So you feel the transition in through those inner thighs, right? Good, so that's your triangle. Now let's bend back into the left knee, and this time rise up and reassess for a warrior 2. So turn your back, right toes more towards the edge of your mat, blossom your bum, keep that left knee over the left ankle, and then get your torso by bending and dancing so that it's over your hips, and then find your warrior 2. So it's going to take some adjustment through here, and it's okay. Remember, we're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. Just need to be aware. Good. Warrior 2, 5 breaths. Move and spread your toes. Dance around as you wish. It really is your practice. You do you. Good. And then let's take it out into a warrior 1. So reassess your back foot. Feel your warrior 1. You've got it. Yeah. Then into your crescent. Hello, crescent lunge by just unplugging your back foot. And then exhaling, touching down off your blocks, downward facing dog. Beautiful. So I know the last crescent and warrior 1 were not 5 breaths each, but we're just moving. So let's come up onto the left foot, take the right leg up, bending and extending it as you wish in your downward 3-limb down dog. Once you assess that right foot forward, finding your low lunge, whatever necessities you need to get into your posture first, then you may rise up and feel that strength that you are. Reassessing your back foot so when you're up, you feel like, yeah. Now finding your warrior 1. So that means reassessing that back foot so that your hips are still square. You still have your Drishta. You're still connecting, bending into that right knee and feeling maybe your calf muscle. So my stance is short. Yeah. It's because as I start to listen to myself more, and with age too, you realize that we do not need to do the posture. We need to choose to feel what we're feeling where it's most optimal and healthy without injury. So about 3 more breaths because I was chit-chatting. And another one. Good. Finding your side angle. That means right hand down to the outside of the right shin foot. Reassess your back foot so that you feel a spatial opening through the heart and the hips.
Left hip rolls forward, right knee bends, open up into your side angle. You take your form where you need to, or your hand, you do you for 5. Keep that left hip rolling forward for 4, for 3, for 2, and then finding your triangle pose. So I play with the upper thoracic spine by moving my left arm in a hugging in sensation towards the collarbone, towards the, not the collarbone, the back shoulder blades come towards each other. Your upper arms externally rotate. So that's a little tidbit for that. That's another day discussion though. So finding your triangle legs means you're rooting down from your pelvis for those 5 breaths, about 3 more. Lifting and spreading your toes is a great option. Your neck and your head are extending forward. Yeah. Beautiful. And then we're going to bend into that right knee and reassess the back left foot so that your hips are facing to the left edge of your mat. Your right knee wants to wander inside, so keep it tracking over the big toe, second toe. Shazam, have a party in your hips. Party in the hips. Okay, so feeling what you're feeling, and you can bend that back left knee to get your hips into the shape, then extend it. Pressing through the 4 points of that left foot, keeping your right knee open, your torso, yeah. So remember the spatial difference for you. So you're not here, you're here. Can you manage that one? Yes, you can. Inner thighs move back and apart, your bum blossoms backwards. Reshape those legs, good. When you're ready to unplug that back right or left foot to reassess it for warrior 1. Now you see the difference between 1 and 2 warriors. Warrior 1 is like head on. I see you, I'm coming for you. And then warrior 2 is more like the archer. Ching, ching. So warrior 1 is like, okay, I'm ready. I'm mounting the horse. I'm going forward. So allow that warrior 1 in you to feel the very core of your pelvis. Then unplug the foot and you free up the pelvis. See, the rudder foot is now, heel is lifted. Then you can exhale, touch down more freely, step back, downward facing dog, sway around a little bit, and then moving into your child's pose and or your virasana, whatever one pleases you, to rest, to feel the fullness of your breath, to get more acquainted with yourself. I know that was a lot of information. The last part of our practice today is going to be you just dancing through it, okay? So you can join me, go along with me. It'll be like this, breath, 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 okay? So take a couple of deeper breaths in your resting posture. Remember, number 1 healing, foundational number 1 thing to do is to breathe healthfully, then to feel the shape you're in and let the feelings flow through, not holding on to them. So that means you have to choose to listen to what you're feeling and reestablish what it is that you need to do so that you feel a fluidity of your breath moving through you instead of a gripping. Got it? Everyone tabletop when you're ready. See that, feel that. Press the hands into the mat, hover the knees. Lift your hips, downward dog, bend your knees, pedal your feet, reassess your hands. Love you. Lift the left leg up when you're ready, and then let's send it forward. And then from there, reassess that right knee down onto the mat. And the reason why I'm having us start from a low lunge is to create the strength that we need to rise up. So rising up how you wish into your crescent lunge. To your warrior 1 posture. To your side angle position. Dance in it. Into your triangle position. Wow, feel what you're feeling. Beautiful. And then from your triangle to your warrior 2, reassessing your back foot. Slow down if you need to. This is just like 1 or 2 breaths per. Feel that warrior 2. Then let's come back into our warrior 1. So reassess that back foot. You got it. Then into your crescent lunge. Then all the way down into your downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, swing your hips. Love, love, love. Inhale the right leg up.
Exhale the right foot forward, lower the left knee. As you inhale, choose how to rise up from the low lunge. Crescent lunge, feel the beauty of it, a couple of breaths. Then when you're ready to plug that left foot down and find your warrior one stance. Good, then find your side angle. I'm making my breath loud so you can hear it. Good, and into your triangle. Opening up the collarbone. Good, then finding your warrior two stance, reassessing that back foot. Finding your warrior one stance. Crescent lunge. Exhaling all the way back into your downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, swing your hips, and then very mindfully sit back, child's pose or virasana. There you have it. So again, moving as you wish. I'm here to hold and support and hold space to support. The rest is up to you, your fluidity, your discipline, your response, your attitude. It's all yours. Remember, I sent in an article to all of you, the 3 A's. First is attitude, then you take alignment with that attitude, you set yourself up, and then you take action. So everything is first the breath, your attitude. Good. I'm going to turn sideways now to face you, and we can all come into a cross-legged seated position. And once you find that positioning, swirl around in your pelvis. Swirl around in your pelvis. You could have paused this video too and went through that all over again. But I'd like to end the practice with a mindful awareness in the pelvis, like English Teresa. Mindfully resting in the pelvis. So I'm tilting and tucking my pelvis. You could sit cross-legged on a bolster or just sit on the floor. So anteriorly, posteriorly moving the pelvis. Our pelvis is a wobble board, and that's what it's meant to do. Now let's ground the sitting bones, still the pelvic movement, and then twist our torso towards the right knee, taking the left hand towards the right thigh or knee. Move this left arm somewhere in the vicinity to the sacral area, on the floor, on the bolster. You do you. Can you anchor it down so that you could twist? So the twisting action is in the abdominals, and we want to wring out some of that energy that maybe you're holding on to. So breathe as fully as you can into your abdomen, your belly. Yeah. Turn your face towards your left knee as you're twisting your heart towards the right, and nod your head yes to surrendering. Yeah, there you go. Good. When you're ready to in-breath, come center. Let's just switch out the shins for the sake of just giving your pelvis equal opportunity. Dance around. Then right hand goes to left thigh, shin, knee. You do what you need to do. Find your twist in the abdomen. I love turning this way because I can see outside. And spring is not here, but it's coming. Happy New Year, by the way. When we move into March, it is the astrological new year. Find your twist. Exhale. Exhale. Somewhere along the line in our history of being, we changed our calendar year to begin in January. I don't know why. I've forgotten why. But all I do know is in study of astrology that the beginning of the new year is March. Okay, so March 1st or March 20th is the astrological new year. So Happy New Year. Find your twist, and when you're ready to come to center, let's just take the legs out in front of us. Let your hips sink whether you're on a bolster or not, and then tucking your left heel in. You got it. Bring your left knee more forward. Let's see if we can take our right leg up. I definitely have to come off my bolster. I think you do too. And let's just open up our feet a little bit so that you can, or this left foot, so that you can land your right sitting bone down. If your right sitting bone doesn't want to go down with your right foot on the left, then take your right foot in front of the left shin. Simple as that. Both sitting bones are down. And the reason for this ending of our practice, it taps into the lumbar spine, but also your thoracic spine. So get into this, hold the front of your right knee, sit up nice and tall,
And once again, we're going to play in a twist. That left arm fully expresses, whether you grab elbow crease to knee or tricep to the outside of that right knee, okay, or your hand. Once again, you're twisting in your abdomen and taking your right arm back behind you so that you can find your twist. However you choose to do your twist is where your flexibility is yet, okay? So make sure you're not pushing and shoving, that you are truly honoring the space that you're in, keeping your drishti to the tip of the nose, even close your eyes. Yay. About 5 more breaths in your twist. Both sitting bones are down, both feet are anchored. The spine is long, the heart is lifting. You're able to smile and breathe. Yeah, good. On your next in-breath, unwind, undo. Take your right leg out in front, take your left leg out in front. Teeter-totter on your sitting bones. Grab the underknee creases. And now you're on your sacral area, your coccyx, and the back of your sitting bones. Good. And then we can take our arms inside the knees, grab the outer feet or your ankles, or continue to hold your knee creases and play with extending limbs. So just be playful. You can do a full on, or you can truly just play. And if you're feeling really uncomfortable, you can just totally hang out with your forearms underneath your knee creases and sitting as tall as you can for 5. For 4. Chest stays up for 3. Your spine is long for 2. And then right heel lands at your perineum. Left foot goes out in front. Then you scooch your right knee more forward. Left leg goes all the way up over to the right thigh. We're going back into the twist. Take that right foot away from your bum so both sitting bones are down. If both sitting bones are not down and both feet are not anchored in dorsiflexion, outer edge of right foot, 4 points of the left foot. Then take your left foot out in front of you. Okay, you decide what to do. Find the length of your spine, navigate your right arm, left arm behind you to secure so that you can now navigate your twist. Adjusting your sitting bones, finding your twists, noticing what you need to do with your arrangement of your legs. Your hands can be in any position that supports you, however that may be, behind you, or in a postural Anjali Mudra. You can turn your face over towards the right if you want a greater twist, but close your eyes and feel the twist in your lower back, the belly button area, yeah, and your sternum, the middle back, the bra strap area, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you know where that is. No discrimination here. We all know things. Feel your twist. Feel your twist. Good. Life is good when we love ourselves. When you're ready to unwind, undo that twist. Once again, take your legs out in front of you, hug your knees in as close as you can, sit up as tall as you can, lengthen, lengthen, and then you decide how you wish to cross your legs, habitually or non-habitually, it's up to you. I'm going to sit on my bolster once again. Take your hands to your hip bones, your pelvis, stir them around. Feel the fullness of your lungs. In, out, back, front, side. Good. And then let's open up our arms really wide like we're holding soup bowls. Like soup bowls. Heavy ones. So that it's isometrics. Draw your arms in. Say yes to the life. Say yes to you. Reach your arms up towards the sky a little bit more. And then exhaling your hands into your heart center. Take a moment just to close your eyes down with such gratitude. If you're uncomfortable with your hands in Anjali Mudra, interlace your fingers and let your hands rest on your chest in Truth Mudra. Noticing your breath. Go into the mind's eye, the place between your eyebrows, and invite yourself to see yourself as a loving beacon of light, full of gratitude, full of kindness, full of love. That's what this practice is about. Good, and let's end this beautiful practice today with the sound of Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. A deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There you go. My pelvis feels it. Epsom salts, salt baths, drink a salt water elixir, take a forest walk, breathe the fresh air. Know thyself, love thyself so that you can respond to those around you during this curious time. You cannot control anyone outside of you. You can only take control of your own being. That's the only thing you have control of, and that's enough. Trust me, I'm enough to control, let alone children and a spouse. But remember, we're parenting is different than controlling children, okay? So remember, parenting, guardians, is different than controlling. From my light to your light, may you learn each day and love yourself even when you're grumpy and a smart ass and doing not such great things. Just stop, take a deep breath, and love yourself. This shall too pass. Namaste. See you in the next episodes, Restoring Breath. And or maybe you want a little bit more core in you today. Less is more, remember that.